الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قولوا آمنا بالله أنزل إلينا وما أنزل إلى إبراهيم وإسماعيل وإسحاق ويعقوب والأسباط وما أوتي موسى وعيسى وما أوتي النبيون من ربهم لا نفرق بين أحد منهم ونحن له مسلمون فإن آمنوا بمثل ما آمنتم به فقد اهتدوا وإن تولوا فإنما هم في شقاق فسيكفيكهم الله وهو السميع العليم صدق الله العظيم. Respected elders, dear brothers and sisters, regarding ayat number 136 of Surat al-Baqarah, the rabat and connection goes back to the previous ayah, in which the Yahud and Nasara, the Jews and the Christians, they claimed that become or be a Jew or a Christian, tahtadu, you will be guided. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has instructed Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and has given an instruction to all of us as well, that respond to this claim of the Jews and the Christians by making it clear to them that real guidance is in the millat of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, who was Hanif. He never compromised on his deen, never compromised on Tawheed. And he was never of the mushrikeen, he never involved in any type of shirk. As we know that the aqaid and the beliefs of the Jews and Christians, they have corrupted their aqidah. And they have fallen into different kinds of shirk or different forms of shirk. Ayat number 26, ayat number 136, which is the ayah we recited today, it is a continuation of this claim, or the response to the Yahud and Nasara, to the Jews and Christians. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, Qulu, say to them, or tell all of them, or all of you say to them, Amanna billah, that we believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wa ma unzila ilayna, And we believe in whatever has been revealed to us in this Quran. And this Quran contains the revelations, all of the revelations that came before it. We believe in this. وَمَا أُنزِلْ, and we also believe in whatever revelations came. إِلَىٰ إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَإِسْمَاعِيلَ وَإِسْحَاقَ وَيَعْقُوبَ. And the revelations that were given to Ibrahim alayhi salam, the revelations that were given to Ibrahim alayhi salam, Ismail alayhi salam, Ishaq alayhi salam, and Yaqub alayhi salam. And these revelations were the sahaif that were given to Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. Suhuf Ibrahim wa Musa, the suhuf or the sahaif of Ibrahim alayhi salam and Musa alayhi salam. And other ayat in the Quran, أَمْ لَمْ يُنَبَّأْ بِمَا فِي صُحُفِ مُوسَى وَإِبْرَاهِيمَ الَّذِي وَفَّى. That do they know, or does he know about the suhuf that was given to Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam and to Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam? So these are the main revelations that were contained or sent or revealed to Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, Ismail alayhi salam, Ishaq alayhi salam, and Yaqub alayhi salam. Wal asbat, and the numerous tribes that came. Within the Bani Israel, there were thousands of Anbiya alayhim salam, prophets and messengers. Some narrations put it at around 10,000 or more. So we believe in the revelations that were given to all of them, and all of those revelations were contained in these sahaif, and later on in the Torah was revealed to Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam. وَمَا أُوتِيَ مُوسَى وَعِيسَى. We also believe in whatever was revealed to Musa alayhi salam and Isa alayhi salam. وَالنَّبِيُّونَ مِنْ رَبِّهِمْ, and we believe in whatever was revealed to the prophets from their Rabb. The Torah, the Zabur, the Injil, all of the revealed scriptures. We believe in all of them. لَا نُفَرِّقُ بَيْنَ أَحَدٍ مِّنْهُمْ. We make no distinction in any of them. And this can have both meanings. We don't make any distinction in any of the prophets. They have their status in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But for us believers, we believe in all of the prophets. And all of the sunnah and the way of life and the teachings has been compiled in the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So as believers, we believe in all of the prophets. We believe in their sunnah. We follow their sunnah. And the way we follow their sunnah is by adopting the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The other meaning is we don't make any distinction in even the revelations of the past. That we believe in all of them. Yes, the followers of those revelations have made changes in their revelations, so it is very difficult for us to accept those changes now. We don't know what part of those revelations have been changed. But the original message, we absolutely believe in the original text. If that can be found, and we believe in it and we accept it. We don't make any distinction in them. But all of that message has been contained in the Quran. So we believe in the Quran, we follow the Quran, and therefore, in reality, we are following the revelation of the past as well in totality. وَنَحْنُ لَهُ مُسْلِمُونَ, and we are Muslim. We have submitted to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addresses Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and the Sahaba radiyallahu anhum and us believers as well. In ayat number 137, فَإِنْ آمَنُوا بِمِثْلِ مَا آمَنْتُمْ بِهِ فَقَدْ اهْتَدَوْا. This ayat number 137, the first portion, translation, فَإِنْ آمَنُوا, then if they believe, the Jews and the Christians or the disbelievers, the kuffar, if they believe, بِمِثْلِ مَا آمَنْتُمْ, in the way that you have believed and in the articles that you have believed, فَقَدْ اهْتَدَوْا, then they are also guided. بِمِثْلِ مَا آمَنْتُمْ بِهِ فَقَدْ اهْتَدَوْا, in the articles that you have believed in and the iman that you have, فَقَدْ اهْتَدَوْا, then they are also guided. This portion, بِمِثْلِ مَا آمَنْتُمْ بِهِ, in the way that you have believed, this address is related to the Sahaba radiallahu anhum. That if they believe, the disbelievers or the kuffar or Yahud and Nasara, whoever it might be, if they believe بِمِثْلِ مَا آمَنْتُمْ بِهِ, as you Sahaba have believed, فَقَدْ اهْتَدَوْا, then they will also be guided. And this is also for us, Muslims and believers, coming after the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, that it is also on us that we must also try and have that kind of iman that the Sahaba radiallahu anhum had. And their iman was at a whole different level. They had very strong yaqeen and conviction. They had very strong iman. It is also important for us to bring that kind of iman. وَإِن تَوَلَّوْا فَإِنَّمَا هُمْ فِي شِقَاقٍ, but if they turn away, then they're doing it because of dissension and hatred. And if the Yahud and Nasara, the Jews and Christians, or the disbelievers, they turn away from your iman and from your belief, then they're doing it because of dissension and hatred, enmity towards you. And because of that, they may even try and harm you. And if they harm you or try and harm you, should you be afraid of them? فَسَيَكْفِيكَهُمُ اللَّهُ. This is a very, very powerful statement, and I'll come back to this. فَسَيَكْفِيكَهُمُ اللَّهُ, ayat number 137. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, فَسَيَكْفِيكَهُمُ اللَّهُ. Then definitely Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will suffice you, and He's more than enough for you against them. فَسَيَكْفِيكَ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is فَسَيَكْفِيكَهُمُ اللَّهُ, which means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is more than enough for you, whom against them. وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ, and definitely Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He hears everything and He knows everything. So the kuffar and disbelievers, they may have plots, and they even may make an attempt to harm you. And sometimes it comes in human mind to be afraid. But this statement, فَسَيَكْفِيكَهُمُ اللَّهُ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will suffice you against them. He is enough for you against them. One of the things that we were taught, and we're still being taught about the Quran, is the effect of ayat of the Quran, or the effect of certain statements in the Quran. Now, there are some verses, some ayat in the Quran, or some statements within the verses in the Quran, which have profound impact. The whole concept of Tafseer al-Ayat, or the athar of the ayat, the effect of the ayat of the Quran, or the impact that the verses of the Quran have in our lives, or have in our society. This is one of those statements. This statement, فَسَيَكْفِيكَهُمُ اللَّهُ وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. This is also one of those statements of protection. And not any type of protection. Protection against any kind of harm from people you may know that are trying to harm you. The mashayikh and elders of the past, and even now, they've used this statement along with other statements in the Quran for very particular protections in various situations. Even the meaning and the translation is amazing. فَسَيَكْفِيكَهُمُ اللَّهُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is enough for you against them. He is enough as a protector. He is enough to protect you against them. and He'll protect you from them. He's sufficient for you in protecting you against them. What a powerful statement. وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He hears everything, He knows everything. He hears their secret plots, He knows their plots, He knows how they plan to harm you. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will protect you against them. This is the ending two jumla, the last two sentences of Ayat number 137 of Surat al-Baqarah. And we see even in the seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam that how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected him and protected the Sahaba radiallahu anhum against the plots of the Jewish tribes in Medina. There were attempts made against the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. They even attempted to assassinate him a few times, the Jewish tribes. There was even a witch or a wizard, a magician that did magic on Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Even sihr against him. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved him and saved the Sahaba radiallahu anhum from their plots and the evil. Whichever ways they were trying to harm the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, and whichever ways they were trying to harm Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So this statement, along with other ayat in the Quran, is very, very effective for protection. Some time back, I explained to you a practical thing that happened when one of the Hufaz was telling me that back home, where he was from, the Hafiz of the Quran, he was telling me that when he was back home, he had a business, he had his own store and his own business, and he said at that time in that locality there was break-ins into businesses at night and people's things were being stolen. And it was a very, very dangerous situation. People were afraid. This Hafiz was telling me his practical story. He said, I went to my sheikh and I asked him, I said, this is happening. Stores are being broken into. Everyone is afraid. No one knows what to do. It's been happening for a few days now. I'm also afraid. I have merchandise. I've spent money on my merchandise. And what should I do? So the sheikh told him, okay, no problem. Every night when you close or during the daytime when you go to business, when you go to work, first read Ayatul Kursi and then read this statement, فَسَيَكْفِيكَهُمُ اللَّهُ وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will protect you against them. For He's enough for you as a protector against them. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He hears everything and He knows everything. He said, just read this and read with the yaqeen and the conviction that when you're saying this, you're saying that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will protect you against these thieves, whoever they are. So the Hafiz Sahib was telling me that I started reading this. Every morning I would go to my business, I would read Ayatul Kursi and I would read this sentence, فَسَيَكْفِيكَهُمُ اللَّهُ وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. And he said every night when I was closing up my business, when I would finish the day, wrapping up everything, I would just close my store, read Ayatul Kursi, and read this, فَسَيَكْفِيكَهُمُ اللَّهُ وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ, and then I would go. And he said I was almost confident that inshallah nothing will happen to me. He said almost all the stores around me got hit except my store. He said he said Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected my business. So this is kind of like a practical thing that I was told about the effect of this ayah. And other ayat for protection you can also read. That it works in amazing ways for those who are interested in the effect and really have yaqeen and conviction in the effect of the ayat of the Quran, in the effect of the words of the Quran. And there are many other ayat like this as well. But this also has a very, very profound meaning and profound impact. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling the Sahaba radiallahu anhum in this ayah and also giving us a very clear instruction. فَإِنْ آمَنُوا بِمِثْلِ مَا آمَنْتُمْ, that if they believe the way you believe, which means if they have iman, and the essence of iman is yaqeen, conviction. And the essence of conviction comes from tawakkul and trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That if they believe بِمِثْلِ مَا آمَنْتُمْ بِهِ, in the same way as you have belief, فَقَدْ اهْتَدَوْا, then they will also be guided. This is the essence of guidance and hidayah. وَإِن تَوَلَّوْا فَإِنَّمَا هُمْ فِي شِقَاقٍ, and if they're turning away and they're doing it because of their own dissension, their own hatred, their own enmity, فَسَيَكْفِيكَهُمُ اللَّهُ, and if that is the case, then do not fear them. Rather, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is sufficient for you against them. فَسَيَكْفِيكَهُمُ اللَّهُ وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ, and definitely Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He hears everything and He knows everything. Our iman and our belief, what we understand in our deen is that the nature of iman and the nature of belief is that it doesn't stay, it's not stagnant. Iman is a condition of the heart. And the nature of our hearts is that our hearts are not stagnant. They're always beating, always moving. And the condition of our hearts is always changing. So Iman is also always changing. The Iman of the Anbiya alayhimus salam was always consistently and constantly becoming more and more strengthened and increasing in different levels. Our Iman is like a roller coaster ride. It goes up and it goes down. Sometimes it is rising, sometimes it is going down. That is the nature of our Iman. Why? Because we human beings, we are affected by the ahwal and conditions of this dunya, of this world that we live in. And the nature of this dunya is that the ahwal and conditions are always changing. Sometimes the conditions are favorable. And a person becomes content and a person is able to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with some level of contentment. So Iman becomes strengthened. Sometimes you see the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sometimes some dua is accepted, some benefit comes and a person's Iman is strengthened. And sometimes the conditions are not very favorable. There are difficulties, there are hardships. A person is trying to find solutions, cannot find solutions. Sometimes we're making dua to get relief, that relief is not coming. We're faced with different types of hardships and at that time our Iman is shaken. And it's not as strong as it should be. That is the time to turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the time to increase the dhikr of La ilaha illallah. One of the unique elements of this kalima is that it's also very effective in the acceptance of dua. In different places in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has pointed this out very clearly. In Surah Al-Mu'min or Surah Ghafir, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, هُوَ الْحَيُّ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا هُوَ فَادْعُوهُ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is Al-Hayy. One of the beautiful names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, also coming from Al-Hayy Al-Qayyum. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Al-Hayy, that being that is the source of life, the all-living being. La ilaha illahu, there's no ilah but Him. فَدُعُوهُ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ. Make dua to Him, being very sincere in your deen. Show sincerity in your dua. Well, what happened? Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. You'll find your dua to be accepted and I'll make you grateful. So then say Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. And there are many, many other places in the Quran where this is mentioned as a means of dua or a form of dua, such as the case of Yunus alayhi salam. He used this in his dua also, La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu min al-zalimin in Surah Al-Anbiya. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it clear, فَاسْتَجَبْنَا لَهُ وَنَجَّيْنَاهُ مِنَ الْغَمِّ وَكَذَلِكَ نُنْجِي الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. We responded to his dua, we removed from him the difficulty. In a similar way, we will respond to all believers. So this kalima, La ilaha illallah, in its different forms. But in a very simple form, if you want your dua to be accepted, then do a dhikr of this kalima before your dua and make it with yaqeen, with conviction. And this is the essence of iman. And this was the iman of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum. They had very, very strong iman. That is why it was very easy for them to see and accept the miracles of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and also to find in their lives different scenarios and situations which were extraordinary. Unfortunately, our iman is not that level. And we have to strive and we have to make an effort to bring our iman to that level. So in times of difficulty, in times of hardship, one of the best remedies that we can have is the dhikr of the kalima, La ilaha illallah. And also istighfar, saying astaghfirullah. This also removes difficulties and hardships. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give all of us understanding and give us the tawfiq to practice His deen. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ. So coming to the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: فضلت على الأنبياء بست، أعطيت جوامع الكلم ونصرت بالرعب، وحلت لي المغانم، وجعلت لي الأرض طهورا ومسجدا، وأرسلت إلى الخلق كافة، وختم بي النبيون، وكما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. رواه Muslim. This hadith is in Sahih Muslim and we have been going over it all week. Sayyidina Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, he narrates that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam stated or said, فضلت على الأنبياء بست. I have been given superiority over the other Anbiya alayhim as-salam, over the rest of the prophets in six respects or in six things. أعطيت جوامع الكلم. I have been given جوامع الكلم, where my words have very, very comprehensive and very deep meaning. وَنُصِرْتُ بِالرُّعُبِ. And I have been helped with ru'ub. We've gone over these details. What is ru'ub? Kind of reverence or a kind of fear that is put into the hearts of the enemies. وَأُحِلَّتْ لِيَ الْمَغَانِمِ. The maghanim, the spoils of war, have been made halal for me or lawful for me. To the nations of the past, or the Anbiya alayhim as-salam and the prophets of the past, there were a few things that were very different than our deen. One was the sadaqah. Whenever they did sadaqah, especially the sadaqah of the Bani Israel, the Anbiya alayhim as-salam and the prophets of the Bani Israel, when they would do sadaqah and they wanted that sadaqah to be accepted, they used to bring that sadaqah out into an open field, and fire would come down and burn that sadaqah. And that was a sign that the sadaqah is accepted. If the fire did not come down and burn it, so it was a kind of a sign that it is not accepted. So they did not used to benefit from the sadaqah. Especially, and this was in a way if they made some kind of nadhr or some kind of vow with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that if a certain thing would happen, then we would give some kind of lamb in sadaqah or some wealth in sadaqah or something like this. It's not related to that sadaqah or that zakah which they used to help the people, but this was in a form of acceptance, that if it was accepted or not. That also used to, so that's one thing. In our deen, it's not like that. The sadaqah you will always give to someone, they always benefit from it. Otherwise, you benefit from it. You benefit your friends and your family from it. You can do that. Again, the rules of sadaqah are there. You can read about it in the books of fiqh. Another thing is that, and this is also mentioned in the Ayat of Surah Al-Imran, they will come. Well, one of the challenges the Bani Israel made to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam is that we were told not to believe in you until some fire came down and ate the sadaqah. تَأْكُلُهُ النَّارِ. It comes in Surah Al-Imran. You bring a kind of charity or some vow, تَأْكُلُهُ النَّارِ, and it's eaten by fire. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, قُلْ, tell them, قَدْ جَاءَكُمْ رُسُلٌ بِالْبَيِّنَاتِ وَبِالرُّسُلِ, that there were many prophets that came before me with this clear miracle and these signs. فَلِمَ قَتَلْتُمُوهُمْ, then why did you kill those prophets? So it was kind of a clear answer that you people are saying you will not believe in me until this happens. When the prophets in the past did this for you, you killed those prophets. What guarantee do I have that that even if I do this, you're really going to believe? It was not like the challenge of belief. The other thing was that for this ummah, or the nations of the past also, if they ever captured a city or they defeated an army and they would get the spoils of war, the mali ghanima, the same thing used to happen. They would take the mali ghanima, they would take the spoils of war, put it out in an open field, and fire used to come down and burn it. It was done. Or they were not allowed to benefit from it. Like they were not allowed to take anything from the battlefield. Just leave it there and walk away. It was haram for them to benefit from it. And if anyone did benefit from it, first of all, they were involved in haram and they could get punished for doing that. That was the nations of the past. For this ummah, we the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, from the Sahaba radiallahu anhum until now, whenever even the battle is won or not, but you're able to take the spoils of war, the mali ghanima, and you're able to benefit from it. You can sell it, you can own it. Again, the distribution will happen from the authorities, the Muslim authority. And once that distribution is done, whatever portion is given to you, you can benefit from it, you can keep it, you can give it to someone as a gift. It's yours. You can sell it. So many people used to do business with this. Many of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, they would receive mali ghanima, so they used to sell it and make business and make profit. So this has been made halal for the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the mali ghanima, the spoils of war. Whereas for the nations of the past, this was not halal and this was not allowed for them to take any kind of benefit from the mali ghanima. So this is another fadila, another superiority that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and has given to us, the Muslim ummah, over the nations of the past and over the prophets of the past. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give all of us understanding and give us the tawfiq to practice the deen. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ.